Welcome, everybody. You know what time it is. It is Vader time. That's a pro wrestling reference for those that didn't know.
Like, what? I was getting ready to say vlog pat. No, okay, never mind.
Big Van Vader, pro wrestler, so much fun. And he would always come out and be like, it's time, it's Vader time. And then he would just pummel people. And I have some traumatization, I think that's the word, from my older brother, Dustin, always being like, it's time. And that usually meant he was going to chase me and start swinging forearms at me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not punching you. I'm hitting you with my forearms. I'm like, whatever. You stop it. Anyways, hey, we are here, and I think because Jared and I are here and we just like rolling straight into things and getting going, we're going to kick things off with this week's installment of our intro. Figure out if you can tell who we are this week.
Welcome to the Vlogpastors Podcast, a podcast all about the stories and strategies of sharing God's love in the digital world. Now, here are two pastors that love to put a camera in their face and walk around in public. They are the Gilligan and Skipper of digital ministry, Jared Brown and Joshua Verwers.
And here on Gilligan's...
That's right, everybody. Joshua Verwers here. The one you heard singing off camera was Jared Brown. We are the Vlogpastors, and you have found yourself on Vlogpastors Podcast episode number 17?
15? 16?
Anybody know? Hey, if you've been following along and you have any idea, normally I will type out a description, but I've got some new equipment and a new setup stuff, and I'm trying to dial things in, and the next thing I know, I look down and it's like already 11 o'clock and we haven't went running yet, and I was like, oh, let's hit live. So I don't even have a title for this, but if I go to Anchor, anchor.fm/vlogpastors, it tells me that last week was episode 16.
Oh, wow.
So we are on episode number 17 of the Vlogpastors podcast. And hey, by the way, if you guys are not following our channels, you should do so. I mean, you're watching, if you're on YouTube, mine right now. And if you're not already subscribed, well, shame on you. And if you're not subscribed to Jared, well, shame on you. And you should probably also check us out over on Instagram, because we post random stuff infrequently and inconsistently. And you always need more of those people to follow.
Isn't it true? Yeah, no, seriously, head on over to my channel where we'll break the shame off of you. What?
That's right. Do that. So we got some people here in the chat that are joining the Jason Mayfield, saying, I am here to cause problems.
Yes, he is. Every time.
We're ready. Bring it. Bring it. If you didn't know, Bite a Brownie is here. He's here, and he's guaranteeing that Jason is going to be doing some. Jason Remster says there's always one troublemaker in this group, but I think he's actually talking about himself. Diana Gladney, the one and only Guten Morgen, which, if my daughter Reagan happens to be listening, there's some German for you. We were talking yesterday about the different languages that she has heard, and I was like, I'm pretty sure you've heard that. So Henry here as well, saying, what's going on, everyone? And the dude is here as well. Good to see ya. So he says, Henry was saying, we're going right into the intro.
True.
Awesome. That's right. We're going straight into the intro. Why? Because we can. And because it's a little added bonus and a benefit for those of you that jump in right away. We're just getting right in. Uh-oh. Genevieve says I got a new package. I got a new package today?
Seriously.
Genevieve,
stop, man.
Did the package... Ooh, and Mom's here too.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously, did I get a new package? I think we should do an unboxing right now. I'm not sure what it is. Genevieve, bring it to me.
Bring it in.
Bring it to me. You don't get to open it. No, she wants to open it. Bring it here.
To the people who follow you on Instagram, you can agree with me in this, that maybe,
I don't know
just
where my
maybe,
knife is, though.
Someone has a problem. Someone has a serious problem right now.
I do not have a serious problem.
Hard case of the spins. Wowzer.
Oh, Mike is bringing me a box. This is a big box.
This is just going to make everybody upset, jealous.
Is
It is demonic. What it is. Go ahead.
I don't know. This is coming from Texas.
What is it?
I have no idea.
Maybe it's
see
hotter
if I can
sauce.
Find my knife. See if it's in that top drawer, or is there one over here? Is the knife
This
there?
is really not a bit. I didn't send him anything. I have no idea what's in the package.
No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say
that he has to eat here. If it's hot sauce, you're eating it here right now.
I'm not.
Guaranteed, he's eating it.
You know, knowing me, this is probably a Funko Pop that I ordered and I forgot about.
Oh my goodness! Hold it up. We want to see it.
Well, my thumb. No, I'm joking.
Bets. Hold on. Before you open it up, is it camera gear or is it decoration? Stage decoration.
There we go. What do you guys think? Is it camera gear or is it decoration? We're taking your votes right now.
Here's my vote. I'm going to say it's decoration. I'm going to say it is decoration because I think you've kind of rounded out. What else could you possibly buy for your camera setup?
I have a couple more things that I have bought.
Oh, my goodness. Or audio.
Actually, it is audio. One of them actually that Genevieve was, she kind of reminded me of. She said, I think you've bought everything. And I was like, actually, I haven't. Because did you know that Blue, that makes you've got the Blue Yeti microphone, right?
Yep.
And I have, obviously, you can see Blue right here. This is the Blue Compass boom arm. For this Blue Compass boom arm, they actually make a little desk plug. And so you drill a hole in it, and then it tightens down on the desk, so you don't need one of those clamps. So I may or may not have ordered that. Okay, so here we think. Josh is saying it is more than likely a decoration. And my mom says she's with Jared. Possible problem. Maybe an intervention is in order. All right. Here we go. You ready for this?
I'm just showing my wife every step of the thing because I'm like, look.
The unboxing. Look. Oh, yeah. I recognize that.
What is it? What is it?
Paper. Ooh.
What a letdown. What is it?
It's a Funko Pop. And this is going to be so good. I'm glad it's this one to unbox, especially for those of you that are maybe not the biggest wrestling fans, because once you see this...
You actually have a top-down webcam.
I kind of do.
Is it out of...
All right, you ready?
What? Yes. Hold it up. The great reveal. What am I looking at? This is so totally wasted on me. You wrestling fans are going nuts, but yeah.
It's the
It's
Fiend.
a demon baby. Yay.
It's the Fiend. And you know what I do with these? I know there are people that actually collect stuff like this, and they're like, oh, you got to keep it in the box. No, we take these things and we put them on the shelf. Micah, you want to put it on the shelf?
Turn it around. We got to inspect this thing. What? Okay. Get it in focus. I want to see. Oh my. Yes, it's very pleasant. Turn his head. I like his hair. I want to see his hair. Look at that. That is pretty cool. Nice detail.
I think I've got Bray Wyatt up there. That's actually a wrestler, Bray Wyatt. His other Bray should be right there. So just set the Fiend right next to Bray Wyatt. The Fiend is Bray's other personality.
Is that like his alter ego?
Yes.
Okay. Is he a separate character? This is where you lose me in wrestling. Is he a separate character, or is he like, that's Brett, super angry?
It's like he's got multiple personalities.
Oh, okay.
And so he talks about himself in the fourth person.
Yeah.
And it comes across very well, especially when he does I don't know, some type of Pee-wee's Playhouse thing that is just very weird and odd. However, the creativity that guy has been really cool with the quarantine, with the pandemic happening. Obviously, you can't have wrestling with a huge crowd, so they had to get creative, and he used that to get some cinematic matches going on that were they left you thinking, what did I just watch?
Huh.
And why did I like it so much?
Now that is something I can appreciate about wrestling. They go for it.
They've
got an idea, they go.
Yep. So it was good stuff. Okay, so yes, Logan is saying it is the Fiend. Yes.
The Fiend.
My mom was hoping it was Jen's new phone case. It should be on its way, which, by the way, you want some Live by Faith phone cases, you can check it out at joshuaverwers.com/merch. And you'll find some stuff there. Logan is saying it's the Fiend. Diana is saying, I can't come to the intervention because I will only suggest more gear. Now,
you guys had a thread running last night that I'm like, I can't even keep up with all this. You're like, well, the 10 to 18, the 1.4, I'm thinking about swapping it out for over the. I don't know what you're talking about anymore. You guys have left the planet.
No. And it's not just us guys. Your wife sent me a message showing me like baseball bat cases for these things. And I'm like, oh, Genevieve's going to love you once I start buying those.
Baseball bat cases?
Yeah,
My wife.
Do you know they make a case for like baseball bats, a display case? And they will fit those Funko Pops perfectly. Perfectly.
She has
on
like
the wall.
An hour off of work before she goes to bed, and she's like jealous of that time. So now I see what she's doing with that hour.
She's checking Pinterest and trying to decorate my studio.
That is her passion, though. She loves to decorate things. Good.
It was awesome. And if it's on Pinterest, I still do not understand Pinterest. So I can't come. Henry is saying SummerSlam this weekend, which, by the way, Henry, SummerSlam is this weekend. I can safely announce that all things going well, I've got this microphone here. If you look over my shoulder, right there is another Shure SM7B with another podcast boom arm. I've got, extra chairs in here. There's two of them. And that means that Logan and I are getting ready to launch a wrestling channel. And for SummerSlam, our plan is we are going to basically do live commentary while watching the show.
Dude, that's going to be awesome.
And so he and I sitting there, we got dual monitors here. We're going to be watching it. We're going to be engaging with everybody. You're not going to see, I'm not breaking copyright laws. I'm not going to be posting it. We're just watching it and we're talking about it. And so that's what we're going to be doing.
I wonder what the lag's going to be on that, because you guys will be watching it, and the people who are watching it with you are they're 5 seconds behind. So whenever they see something huge happen, then they get to wait 5 seconds and watch you guys react to it.
It's that close. So awesome. Because of my whole setup with the high-speed internet and everything, and with this, so like when we're doing our countdown, the way they see it from where you and I are at right now, Jared, it's less than 5 seconds. It's an ultra low latency that's going on. So I think when they see it and we see it, it's going to be so close. But the other thing I did notice is most people are watching WWE on like their Roku or like their Apple TV or their Fire Stick, their streaming devices. And those actually have a bigger delay than the website. And so we're going to be streaming it on the website. So I think it's actually going to counteract that a little bit, and it'll almost be real time. I kind of tested it out watching in the other room on the computer and in there, and there was about a 5 to 10 second delay from it in there on here. So
I think it'd be cool if it is delayed, and the closer, obviously, the better. It would be weird if you were ahead. That'd be almost like a spoiler. If you guys are hollering and hooting, and
it'll be fun.
Be fun. No matter what, it's gonna be cool.
It'll be so much fun. Jason is saying my video editor is putting finishing touches in my Dropbox. It is so finished videos in my Dropbox. It is distracting. Yes, I would agree. Getting those, absolutely. Henry, I do need a Braun Strowman, and Logan is saying we will get it eventually. Yes, it's getting ready to run. I will have probably in my community tab. I'll have a link to the channel once we get the channel artwork all done. If you want to go ahead and try to search for it, you can. It's called WrestleFam. You probably won't be able to see it unless, I don't know if my YouTube channel, if my subscriptions are public or not. If they are, like if you can see who I'm subscribed to, which I don't know if you can, but if you can somehow, then you should be able to see. But I can't tell you if you can actually see any of that stuff or not, because I don't remember what settings I've got. But anyways, I'll make sure to have a link. That way, if anybody wants to check it out, anybody wants to subscribe, you can do that. John Hayes saying, I say you and Logan take a chance and do some commentary on video of your old wrestling matches.
My. That could be brutal. That'd be
that
awesome.
may or may not be a video idea that we have discussed. Logan saying we are so
Logan's
doing that.
in.
Yep. So Jason, I didn't take the bait at all. At all. Which bait was it? My video editor is putting finished videos in my Dropbox.
While he's chewing on that, I would like to say, Jason, thank you, man, for being bold enough to post your finances on Instagram. I don't know if any of you guys follow Jason Mayfield on Instagram, but that was a bold move, dude. I can't wait to see how that plays out. That was already something that was interesting to me. I like to see people who are transparent and getting after it in the area of finances. The more, the better. And that was huge, dude. Really cool. Can't wait to see how that all plays out.
Agreed. He's got a great mind for the finances from not just a secular perspective, but a sacred perspective. He understands what Scripture says about finances, what it says about prosperity, which if people didn't know that the Bible talks about prosperity, they haven't read their Bible. And he just, he understands it. I would say he's one of the most balanced approaches that I have seen by far. So I enjoy seeing it as well. And he says he is ready to see how it plays out too. Laugh out loud. That's going to be good. Diana's saying hootin', hollerin' and hootin', laugh out loud. New Southern phrase acquired from Jared.
Diana.
Hollerin' and hootin', hootin' and hollerin'.
Leave me alone. Goodness.
Good stuff. So, Jared, this is episode number 17. What are we talking about today? We're the Vlog Pastors. What are we discussing? We
should probably talk about the thing that we were going to talk about. Remember?
Oh, the thing that we were going to talk about.
My
second channel, but my third channel.
I wasn't going to go there. I was just going to tease you about it. But if you want to talk about it, that's cool.
So I don't have a problem doing it because I've actually got another vlog that is coming out tomorrow. And it's unboxing a lot of this stuff and explaining some of why I got it and everything. And
well, then let's talk about it because
I'm getting ready to launch this third channel.
No, man. Obviously, this is a fun one because Joshua and Diana and myself, we've been kind of kicking around this whole thing. I think it's going to be successful. Let me start off by saying this. I think everything that you do, everything that you touch is going to be successful. You have a talent and a gift for this particular medium, and you are called for such a time as this. Now, with all that said, I think it's horrible. What are you doing, man? Why, strategy-wise, why are you starting up another channel? I get that it's quasi-cool right now to have another channel. I cite Gene Nagata. Who else has a second channel going where they have one for like their specialty, whether that be gear, filmmaking, pottery, whatever, and then they have their own personal where they make their vlogs and do whatever they want to do. I get it, that's kind of in vogue right now, but prior to a couple of weeks ago, unless your lifestyle has shifted, a couple of weeks ago, this channel was predominantly live streams because the demand on your life was so strong to be doing church stuff and COVID stuff and everything else. What's the thinking there? Are you going to be able to keep up with two channels? Because I will mutiny on this channel right here called Joshua Verwers if we aren't getting our stuff, man.
So can I keep up with it? That remains to be seen. You don't know until you try it. I will say that here's part of the thinking, and this is an ongoing thing where I'm continually processing these thoughts and trying to figure out to get more clarity on it. And I was actually talking to my mom this morning, and I said, I think I have finally kind of wrapped my brain around what it is I want to do with this third channel, which, Tomlinson Road is saying, third channel, I didn't know you had a second channel. The second channel is called WrestleFam. No videos yet. It's starting this week. This weekend, they're going to be live streams, and then we're going to start producing videos. But that's me as more of an on-air type personality and letting Logan, my son, do most of the editing and stuff with that. So I'm in there. We're both administrators of it, the channel and whatnot, but he's going to be doing a lot of the work for it. It's going to be kind of his baby that I'm helping him with. My actual second channel doesn't have any content yet. I'm going to be making some in the next couple weeks, so I don't have an official date on when that's all going to start dropping. And the reason I don't have the official date on it is because I want to make sure I can batch some material for it. So that way, the vlogs that I'm doing on this channel, it doesn't take away from that. And these are kind of, I decide I want to start recording something, and I record, and I pretty much got 24 to 48 hour turnaround. If I take any longer than that, it is about a 50% chance of it actually coming out. I've got a ton of video that I've recorded that I didn't get it edited and posted within 48 hours, and we're a year and a half later, and it's still sitting on my hard drive, and it hasn't been touched. Now, that being said, the current channel, Joshua Verwers, it's all about really just kind of living by faith, showing you guys my life, hoping to encourage you guys to do the same. And, there's a hand that came up. Bring it.
I just have a quick little question for you, Joshua.
Sure.
I thought part of the pizzazz of this particular channel is you are a pastor, you're doing it, and you're showing other pastors how you do that. And so you're showing them the gear, you're showing them how you use it, you're showing kind of like how Jason Mayfield is being transparent with his finances and saying, look, I'm blessed. And I'm growing more blessed by the day, and here's how it's happening. Here's the behind the scenes of how it's happening. One channel, one person. What's the benefit of branching off and going somewhere else? Maybe dive into that.
Yep. So the thing that I would say is this channel and the next channel, the second, they are going to have overlap on them. But this one is going to be more focused on the why, whereas the other one is more focused on the what and the how. And the reason I'm leaning towards doing this and kind of separating the two is I study my analytics every so often, and I'm seeing that I have videos that I've made that is the what and how. They're very how-to driven, very tech driven, tutorial driven, and those, they keep getting new people coming in, but those people are short-term subscribers. They're there because they think they're going to get more of that. But then when I start giving them the lifestyle vlogs, they unsubscribe and they leave. And some of them even contacted me and send me DMs or left comments and basically like, I'm not here for that. I don't want any of that. I appreciate that's you, but if that's what you're going to be force feeding me on this channel, I want nothing to do with it. And so it's like, to separate the two, I think gives a little clarity.
Bye.
Yeah. But then there are also people like my mom alone. And my mom has flat out told me when I get into that stuff, she tunes it out. Just has no desire to know it whatsoever. It would be like a similar thing where, like, when we're preaching at church, you know, we preach one of those felt needs type of sermons, and people love it, and it's like it hits them right where they're at, and they get it. But as soon as we start to go into a deep dive on the book of Revelations, they've now glossed over. There's some of them that love it, but others don't. And so typically your Sunday morning is not where you would want to do a deep dive, breaking down every aspect of the book of Revelations. You would save that for like a small group or a Bible study or a Sunday school type thing, maybe a Sunday evening or a midweek if you've got that, where people that are going for that want a little bit more and they want to go a little bit deeper. Not on a Sunday morning where you would typically have guests that are showing up, walking off the street that may not even have a strong faith, may not have a faith in Christ at all. And so that's where I'm kind of looking at the distinction of that type of stuff in a couple ways. One, the other channel, yes, it's going to be more tech, more how-to type driven and focused, but it's still going to be from my perspective. I'm not going to change things up. So it's going to be like, here's how I'm using it, and here's what I'm doing, and here's what I'm thinking. But it's not going to be as much as, like, current channel, it's a little bit here in a bigger message. And I've got enough people on this channel currently that little bit, they want a lot more. I know there's enough people that want that because my private messages say that. I mean, people reaching out on a regular basis and, hey, can you help with this? Can you help with that? And then there comes into the part where there's so much that I've learned that I know that I need to start sharing with other people, because I've figured out some of these things and I've got a way of explaining it that certain people can understand a little bit better. And I want to be able to replicate and duplicate that. So instead of me just sharing it for one person, I'm sharing it for hundreds. So that's kind of the thought process on this next channel, if that makes sense. That being said, this channel, regardless of what the other does as far as subscriber base, as far as views, as far as any of that, this one and the mission and the things that I'm doing with this is my baby. This is the one where the focus is going to be. And so if the other one starts to take away from that, it'll be a short-lived thing where that one will get corrected. It'll get put in timeout, and then I'll come back to this. So
totally curious.
Yeah.
So motivation behind the next one.
Yep.
I mean, obviously the demand's there, but not just busy for the sake of busy. I would assume that there's some sort of financial prospects there for doing affiliate links and that sort of thing. Just thinking about for the audience watching right here, there's a bunch of entrepreneurs or bivocational pastors who seem to tune into us. So what you're thinking is possibly some financial uptick. Is it a creative outlet, or is this your creative outlet? Do you think that'll diminish?
I honestly, I think both are my creative outlet. Because you guys should know by now, I like making what I want to make. And if I like it and I enjoy it and I'm into it, I make it. If I want to put, a little wrestling figurine on the back, I don't care if people don't like wrestling. I don't care if they look at that guy and they're like, oh, that's demonic and a pastor shouldn't have that in their house. I don't really care. See ya. The way you clicked watch, you can easily just close that same window and leave. So I like doing what I want to do, what I feel like, and just going with it. The problem is there are people just like me that they like it all and they want it all, but that's a smaller segment. And it's much easier if I kind of branch those things that I like into some separate boxes. So if people really like it, like they really like this one, they'll go for that one. But if they don't like these, they don't have to get those. But if they want all of it, they can go with all of it. Like, I know there are going to be people that they will subscribe to this channel. They'll subscribe to the tech channel. They'll subscribe to the wrestling channel because they like all of it. But there are also people that will only subscribe to this and not the other two. Even though they love me, they want nothing to do with that other stuff. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about you, Mom. So it's like, those are the things.
Is it a preservation of this audience, or is it an outreach arm? I'm feeding you here, but I do kind of want to know, like, is it an outreach arm for somebody who happens to be looking at tech gear and they want to get into it? Oh, and they stumbled across you and they realize that you're a man of faith and they want to know more about your faith. I mean, that would be outreach type of thing. Or what's the point? Like, what are you doing there?
Yeah. So I think a lot of that still has yet to be determined. And I don't want to jump too much into that, just because, like, with this channel, I thought this was going to be evangelistic right out the gate, and I was going to get people saved left and right.
Right.
Only did I find out then that, God had different plans, and that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So with the next one, I don't know exactly how all that's going to go. What I do know is, like, at my church, the messages that I preach my church are the messages that God has been preaching to me. When I learn it, I share it. It's as simple as that. The stuff that you guys get here on the channel, when I'm sharing these biblical thoughts or even the experiences in my life, when I get it, I share it. So with that, it's going to be like more of the tech and the how-to driven. When I learn it, I share it. There are things that I'm learning with regards to digital ministry and how to do all of this stuff. And I learn it and people will ask me, but they ask me months later and I've kind of forgotten how to do it. And so then I have to go relearn it. And I'm thinking, wait, if I would have just documented that education process right out the gate. I just learned this, record it, send it out there. Somebody may be looking for the exact same thing that I just spent 20 hours figuring out how to do. And now I've got a way to save them 19 hours. It's like watch a 10-minute video and then take the next 50 minutes and actually apply it yourself. And so I think that is the people that are going to get the most benefit out of it are Christians that are wanting to share their faith online. because they're going to be able to relate to everything that I'm doing with that. But I also think there are going to be other people that they just have a message that they want to share. And it may not be a faith-driven message, but they're looking of how do I do this? And okay, so what are, I like Josh's live stream. I love how he does that. That's really cool. What does he use? Okay, so here's Ecamm, and here's how I set this up. This is what I've been doing to get this done. And then it kind of shows them how. And I've done some of that on the current channel already, but it's so few and far between. And I think a lot of that is because in between these ears, I've got a block. And it's like it can't connect those. It tries to connect them, but I look at it in just a weird way. And so if anything, this is for my own personal clarity to be able to sit there and say, okay, I make these videos here and I make these videos here. And then in doing that, it gives me a little bit more freedom and I don't feel as restrained.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that about people and you apparently, because you're doing it. I like it when people do it. They put their money where their mouth is. They don't know. They're going to try it out. And if it's bad, they'll course correct. I really appreciate that, dude. I think you've got something there. You'll never know until you try it.
Right.
I don't understand it, but we'll never know until you try it. Well, my thing is, with Gene has a successful multi-member person in Potato Jet. Yeah, he would be the one that I would look to that's branching off and doing it correctly. Matty has Matty Apoya. He's one channel. He does all of it in one. I watch everything that comes down the pipe. Potato Jet, pick and choose because of what you said.
Although, look at Matty. You can look at Matty as you can look at even Peter McKinnon. They started very niche-driven, and it was specific things, and only after they gained a following did they start to go into the vlogs. And if you've looked at their comments, when they started doing that, their subscribers were rebelling against them and being like, bring back the tutorials, bring back and they even noticed, both of them started to notice a drop in there. I don't know if they've actually admitted it on camera that that's what they did, but I've noticed and I've watched because I was curious. I was like, oh, now you're doing all vlogs and you're not doing your, 3 or 2 minute Tuesdays. Yeah, let's see how this goes. And then like some of the views started dropping in relation to the subscriber count. So their subscribers were still going up because people were finding the old stuff and they were finding the value, but the views weren't going up at the same rate, which means the ratio was actually worse. And then what happened is they started going back to making that content and trying to find a balance.
It's fascinating because obviously this is a greater conversation. We're just taking a snippet of it because, we're talking about overall brand. If you want to get into that, maybe view counts and subscribers are fluctuating based on the content. But those guys who are vlogging, who are letting people deeper into their lives, they have a whole lot more trust going on. They have a whole lot more trust in that particular thing. So that whenever they recommend a camera, it's like, Maddie's thinking about switching to the new Sony. How do I get rid of all of my Canons? Just because you trust, you've seen them weather the storms of new fads.
This is true, and I will sit there and say that honestly, Potato Jet could have done the same thing that Peter McKinnon done and that Matty Hapoya did. I appreciate the fact that he had a separate vlog channel to a certain degree. I was a little upset at first because I didn't know it. And I had to go back and then watch some of that stuff. And it's like, really? You did this and you didn't even tell me? Now I appreciate it because I know. And even with that, there are times that I'm watching and I'm like, oh, it's Gene. And then it's like getting really technical. And I'm like, wait, what channel am I watching now? Because the look and the feel is very much similar. And he doesn't have a lot of like branding or catchphrases that make that distinction. So because of that, that's where I think it can go either way. I think you can either have one channel that does multiple things, which is a slower growth strategy, or you can have multiple channels that do specialized things, which for certain channels is a faster growth strategy.
Sure.
And for me, I don't know if there's necessarily a right or wrong way of doing it. I think it's just a case of this
sustainable way.
And that's the thing. I think it's trying to find the sustainability. For me, this is the way that makes sense in my brain. Yeah. And like, you, me, Diana, we were talking about that, and I decided to follow your guys' advice. because even though you told me not to create a second channel, you said go with your gut.
You wadded it all up and kicked it out the window, and we knew that from the get-go. The moment you said, "Hell, hey, I want to ask you your opinion on something," we knew you made up your mind. You're just saying, "Look, this is what I'm doing." Anybody have any giant red flags you want to wave in my face?
I honestly hadn't decided. When I asked you guys, I hadn't decided. I had not at all.
Floating coffee hand. I'm done. No
more of that.
No
hey,
more.
Genevieve, by the way, would you send Logan in here real quick? So here's the thing, and here's why I'm wanting Logan to come in real fast. So Logan, okay, Logan, over close so they can see you. You remember me talking about my tech-related channel? Yes. I had already been talking to Jared and Diana about it, right? And had I decided I was going to do it at that point?
Hey, no, he's on the payroll. He's on the payroll.
When did it look like to you that I actually decided that I was going to start it? When did it? Do you remember what it was?
Hey, just remember the future of your YouTube channel rides on this answer.
I was trying. Here's where it was. I was trying to figure out if I do this, it needs to click here, and I need to figure out what am I going to call, what's the channel going to be called?
Come on, Logan.
Am I going to do like Joshua Verwer's Tech? And then I came running in your room and I was like, I got it. Right? That was the moment. And that was after I'd been talking to them. Yes or no?
That's what happened.
Jared's like, yes. No, it did. It was after the fact. You can get out of here now. You're no help. Jared doesn't believe you. Jared doesn't. Shoo. Be gone. I did not know until that moment when all of a sudden it was like, oh, I figured it out. And it took that click.
To this. There is something to it.
I think I talked to you afterwards anyways. Didn't I tell you what I'm calling the channel? I haven't even told Diana that.
I don't think so. If you did, I forgot. I slept since then. Why don't you tell everyone here in the live stream what you're calling it?
I might do that. But first, Jason Mayfield, he said, what channel will focus on the where and when? Ooh, because this one is kind of why I'm doing things. The next one is what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. The where and when. Ooh, I think there's going to be an overlap. I think it'll depend on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it to determine the when and the where. Like if I am just happen to be celebrating a milestone and jumping out of an airplane, then the where and the when will be based on whatever channel that is. If I happen to go visit a Jason Mayfield in Florida, or a Trey Van Camp in Arizona, or a Jared Brown in Texas, or a Diana Gladney in the Mizzou, if I were doing that, it would be the where and the when based on what we're doing. So like if I was going down to collab with Diana, just because if Diana and I decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go and have us some Kansas City barbecue.
Ooh,
well, that's going to be a vlog.
Amen.
And it's going to be on the vlog channel. But if I decided to make a trip to St. Louis just to, let's test out some gear and some setup, or if I need her to train me one-on-one how to use these lights that she recommended, well, you know what? That's probably going to go on the tech-driven channel. So the when and the where would be based on that. Does any of that make sense? Am I just rambling for the sake of rambling? I don't know.
No, it makes sense. I can't wait to see it pulled off in execution. I think it's done. I think if you can keep it going long enough to where you make money off of it, this is just my 2 cents. Okay, this is just me thinking.
Right.
If you can keep it going long enough for you to make affiliate link money, other money, sponsor money, whatever you need to do to be able to pay somebody else to come on, I think that's when, like with Jason's deal, he's paying an editor to come on and help alleviate some of the load. You have a built-in. Yeah, that's what I said. The guy's on the payroll. That dude back there, start paying him. It's doable. You have a built-in workforce.
And he is on the payroll. He's just getting paid in knowledge and training.
Here's where I think it doesn't work, though. That's brilliant. That's a whole episode in and of itself about raising the kids up in the way that they should go. But like, if you were to build this from the vlog side entirely,
yeah,
if you weren't doing it for passion because God called you, I don't think it would be possible.
No, I the only way that I see a true vlog channel that is all about personality driven, the only way those are going to have rapid success, like strong growth. Slow, steady growth is fine, but if you're wanting strong growth and you're wanting to turn this into not just a hobby, but kind of like a side hustle or an income, the only way that's going to happen is you have to have some type of personality of notoriety, that you're already bringing an audience in that wants it. Otherwise, the only way that a vlog channel can do it is they have to be able to niche down on that vlog very specifically. So homeschooling, type of vlogs.
It sounds like a video I've seen.
Marriage vlogs or family vlogs, but just mine is, I don't even know what I do. I'm me. I just do whatever I feel like.
I got my spanking. I can't wait for yours. Diana got me good. Have you seen Diana Gladney's video
I
yet?
saw it, and it was good, and I watched it at 1.5 times speed because that thing was a beast of like 20-some minutes long.
Well, whenever that video was built around saying, Jared, get your game together.
It was. But it was good.
Yes, it was so good.
It was so much value, and I'm glad that she did that because you're humble enough to be able to take that correction, without it offending you. And there are hundreds of people that need to listen to that if she had used their channels and called them out by name, many of them would not have received it as well. And it wasn't so like it was a huge scolding. It was just observations that she's made for some clarity and stuff like that.
I'm
other
sure
people have a thin skin.
Blatantly obvious to other people, but it was amazing to have somebody go into your channel and go, look, from the top.
Right. It was so good.
No. Ain't gonna work.
And like I said down in the comments of her, it was giving me some things to think about. And like, oh, I need to re-examine this. I need to think about that. So yeah, it was good.
It was good, but she was reiterating those same points, though.
Yep.
Unless you niche down, whatever you want to go with.
Niche.
Unless you bring it on you bring it all the way down to some clear message rallying point. Like, who do you serve and how can you help them specifically with that?
Yep.
I can't remember the verbiage, but
yeah, I've always thought about when you're trying to. Because there's the niche of the topic or the format or the style, but you've also got your audience that you need to identify. And I think identifying your audience is of utmost importance.
Agreed.
And I look at the audience as kind of like a bullseye, a target. You've got that bullseye, but that's small. But if I can hit somewhere on the target at all, it can be the middle ring, it can be the outer ring. As long as I hit the target, I'm happy. And that will be the thing, like on the tech-driven channel, my bullseye is going to be guys like you and I, gals like you and I, that they're in ministry and what? You rolled.
Gals like you and I. I'm good. I'm just catching up.
I was getting ready to explain. Guys and gals like you and I that are in ministry, but they're trying to use technology to enhance the message that God put on their heart to reach people and impact their lives. That is the bullseye. And I mean, that's like pinpoint direct on the bullseye. But then let's go beyond that. And really, if I can help anybody that has any message that's on their heart that they want to share with other people, I'm cool with that. I don't care if they're Christian or not. I am. I mean, okay, to a certain degree, I do care. But at the same time, if somebody doesn't want to put their faith in Christ, well, I don't know. They can just go to hell then. It's like, I mean, we went down a trail. But
where are we?
Yeah, but that's, I mean, I don't want that, obviously. But if that's what they want, I'm not going to beat them over their head. And I'm not going to sit there and say, you have to, and you can't listen to my stuff if you don't. No. If you don't want to listen to it, well, whatever. So if you want to listen to it, if you find benefit of it, well, great. But if there's something I can do to kind of soften that approach a little bit, to me, it would kind of be like the reverse of Gary Vee. So Gary Vee for a while there was doing a curse-free Gary Vee channel because he realized...
What?
Yes. He realized...
Are you serious? How? How did he pull that off?
I have no idea. They didn't do it very well. I don't think they've been updating for quite a while. But in that channel, what he was honestly doing is he was sitting there and going in with like his normal channel, profanity all the time. And he realized there are people that could benefit from the knowledge I have, but my profanity is turning them off. And so he created a curse-free channel to try to help with that. It's the same thing that Casey Neistat did. If you watch some of his early videos, profanity all the time. And then he just kind of had this shift because, and I remember him hearing or saying something about it, that it was a mom that had emailed him and said, my son likes watching your videos, but because you curse on it, I don't let him. And he just decided, oh, well, I'm just going to stop cursing then because the profanity doesn't add to it. Right. And so if I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what value am I trying to give people? When it comes to the tech related stuff, it's not... The value isn't a relationship with Christ. The value is, here's how you're more effective in sharing your message. And because that's the value, if me being preachy isn't helping, then it's actually hurting. To me, it would almost be like people that are coming, to a city, and there I am standing on a street corner with a megahorn saying, repent or die. Is that effective? For some people. Is it the most effective? I would say it's not.
Fair enough.
Anyways. Hey, we got some more comments I wanted to get to.
I was going to say, we're getting behind on the comments.
We are. Henry said, as I don't believe that you can never get enough of J&J, I'm hoping that. What was that? Oh, he's saying, I'm hoping you don't get burnout. Yes. And I will be monitoring that.
It's a real danger.
Yeah, I will be monitoring that very closely. The good thing about the tech stuff is that I can batch record that. And that's a little bit easier to do.
I can't wait to see how you do, man. I'm going to be monitoring you like a hawk. I'm a lot more sensitive to this sort of thing. I get burnt out pretty easily. I think pretty regularly. I think we need to schedule at least quarterly a YouTube meeting for you and I where you call me just out of the blue and say, hey, get up, get back in there. We're not done yet.
Yeah. It's like, you're okay. You got this.
I may need to build that into the schedule for you because, dude, you're running potentially 3 channels. And I know Logan's going to take the lion's share of the load in the second channel, but 2 channels fully.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I think with being able to do this is currently, because I'm answering and fielding so many questions, and actually this kind of goes into my mom's comment, if she's read it right, with a tech video, you can answer a question once instead of having to repeat it over and over,
sure.
Therefore saving you time and hours, which, yes. And so what this will actually do is it will free me up even more because I'm having multiple conversations a day with different people asking a lot of the same things. And so I'll have to answer the same question 3 or 4 times across the month. Whereas if I'd made a video, it'd be like, hey, I've got a video on that. Go check it out. If you have any other questions, reach out. And then they have another question. Well, guess what? They just gave me another video idea. Because if they've got the question, somebody else is going to have the question.
Sure.
And then that frees me up so I'm able to focus my answering on that one thing. And even some of them, which, by the way, for those of you that have reached out and you're also listening to this, guess what? I'm going to start recording our Zoom calls when I'm answering your questions and helping you out. And you're going to be on there for a learning experience for everybody else. Because it's going to be beneficial. It's going to be helpful. In a similar way, like what Diana did with your question, what she's going to be doing with my question, and I have no idea what I even asked her. I really don't. So
I know. I forgot too, and I'm like, oh.
I know I'm in for it. Clint saying, just got here. I'm definitely going to have to start this one from the beginning. This is something that I struggle with when dealing with my own channel. And yeah, when do you create a second channel? Do you create a second channel? And I think if I'm getting to the point where if it really helps you be more effective in your creation process, then do it. But if it hurts your creation process, don't do it. And you've even seen bigger YouTubers that are doing some of that stuff where they've created a second channel, Curse Free Gary V, and all of a sudden it's not sustainable for them. And there are other YouTubers that I watch, and their metrics and their why for doing it, sometimes it's the views. And they're like, well, I'm not getting the views that I wanted, so I'm just going to drop it. And if that's the case, great. You look at, Gene Nagata, Potato Jet. He's also got client work, and he's wanting to build this course. And he said, well, I love my vlogs, and I want to put out more vlogs, but I just don't have enough time. So he hires more people on to do it because he doesn't want to let it go. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of variables to think about, and I don't think, like with anything, it's a one size fits all.
It is definitely not, because I would highly doubt that these guys were also shepherding a church in the background.
Right.
Just a little nugget that we always, we don't talk about it a lot here on the channel, because we're talking about tech and YouTube and reaching the world. Yeah. But also you have a full-time calling.
True that.
And congregation that is walking alongside missionally with you.
True that.
That's not a small weight.
Which is also why this channel won't take a back burner, and it can't take a back burner, because this actually is kind of supplemental for that and helps. So
gotcha.
It gives my congregation an insight into me a little bit more as well. I don't focus them being like my primary audience necessarily, but the stuff is beneficial for them if they want it. Mm-hmm. And so, whereas the tech, it's not going to be for the majority of them. So Diana saying, I like Potato Jet's vlog channel because even he himself said he started it so he can be removed from the stress and demands of his tech channel and create vlogs as a free creative outlet.
Spoken from a lady dipping her toe in the vlogging waters again.
Yes. Love that. Clint says that he is strongly considering a separate vlog channel just because of the YouTube algorithm. I don't know if having different types of content on one channel helps YouTube push the content I want to be pushed. And I would sit there and say that it can, if the content is a pivot rather than a leap or a jump. And that's where, for the majority of my audience on the current one, the tech content is not a pivot. It is a leap. For a select few on my channel and in my subscribers, it is a pivot because they're already in both of those. But for the majority, it's one or the other. And that's where I've noticed that looking at my analytics, YouTube gets confused. They just literally get confused. I've got this one tech video that they keep pushing up, and I hate it because they keep pushing it. And I get all of my subscribers from either a Bible study or a tutorial. And those people, the comments are never the same people. They don't watch both. It just doesn't happen. And that's where it's like, I need to figure that out. Diana saying, I said go with your gut because you did know I'm going to do what I want. Well, yes, I was going to do what I wanted, but
we're just saying.
I was going to do what I wanted to do, and you guys knew I was going to do what I wanted to do, but I wanted to hear your thoughts. I wanted to hear your opinions on it.
And one of the things, red flags, because here I go, I'm jumping through the window.
Yes, and one of the big red flags that you had, and I'm glad you guys shared it, was the clarity, making sure that the current channel doesn't suffer because of it. And it was something I was like, yes, I needed to hear that because I needed to write that down and make sure that I kept that before my own eyes so it doesn't happen. Which is also why I've delayed starting it officially, because if I start right now, I'm going to feel an urge to create a bunch of content, and that can pull away from the current one. And I've got videos I'm creating right now that I want to keep creating, and we're in the middle of, Vlogpaster Season 3. And so it's like, I'm going to create those videos, but I want to batch them so I've got, like a weekly upload for at least a month out. So that way, if something new pops up, I can put it in there. And then if not, I've got stuff to batch a little bit. And I needed to hear those concerns. Otherwise, it wasn't going to happen. So Diana was laughing at your big wink, by the way. Where was that at? It was the big wink. I saw it. Yes, laugh out loud, the big wink. Trey is saying, just make sure that you visit in the winter. Yes, Yes.
Oh,
if I'm visiting
Phoenix?
Arizona, it has to be in the winter for sure. Clint saying maybe the answer is just to try a separate channel, and if it doesn't work, just go back to how you've always done it. At the very least, you get a second channel idea out of your system. That's another way of looking at it. Diana actually said a couple of months ago she actually created a second channel to be a vlog channel, and then she deleted it. So that
Really?
that could definitely work. Yeah. So she's also saying that she started from Gary V LinkedIn videos where they were blanked out the cursing, and that took off. Yeah. And they were doing those. You should really check out Curse Free Gary V. I'm sure it's still out there. Also, Robert182 saying hello from Costa Rica.
Hello.
And Mom is saying, Jared, can we say Josh got a lot out of his debate class in school?
He just has the gift of gab. I don't know whether that comes from you, Deb, or his dad. I don't know. He's got the gift of gab for sure.
It came from my heavenly dad.
True.
He has instilled that in me. If it comes to debating and stuff, yeah, neither my earthly mom or dad, neither one of them are debaters like that. I say it's a third child syndrome. I had to fight for the attention, and I loved attention. So I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing.
All right.
We've already started to talk about this. We've mentioned, yes, I am going to be making this third channel, whatever it is, this other channel that is tech driven. And once I say what I've decided the name of this is going to be, you're going to catch it, Jared, and it's going to be like, oh yeah, because I'm pretty sure I told you. I just didn't tell Diana because I thought Diana was going to scold me more than you. And so that's why I didn't tell her.
Diana, let me know. I'll defend your honor, and I'm ready.
I've actually decided that this channel, and you're not going to be able to convince me otherwise because it makes sense in my brain.
Do you see what I'm talking about? Time out before you even
I'm not asking for opinions on this.
This is how it goes. This is what it's like to be friends with Joshua. Hey guys, I want to ask you your opinion.
No.
He's already made up his mind. He's already bought the equipment.
No.
He's already filmed 4 different segments, and he's already launched the channel. And he's like, oh, by the way, what do you think?
No, that's not how it goes.
Man.
I sent Diana a message like 3 weeks ago, and I said, hey, you've got these Viltrox VL200Ts. Should I get those, or should I go with the GVM like 800, because it's an RGB light and these are just bicolor, and I'm kind of leaning towards that. And she said no. She said, go with the Viltrox. You want bicolor, you don't want RGB. So you know what I did? I took her advice. I did not buy the RGB, and I've just got the bicolors. And I'm glad I listened to her with regards to that. And I might be upset that I didn't listen to her and you with the second channel. It's the consequences of my decisions, and I'll figure it out. Anyways, this next channel, the tech-driven channel, I'm going to call it What Joshua. That's the name of the channel, What Joshua. What Joshua thinks about the Viltrox VL200Ts. What Joshua uses to record his podcast. What Joshua uses to do his live stream. What Joshua did to create pass-through text. And that was kind of the thought. I liked the sound of it. I thought it would work. And it ties in because it's still this. It's also what Joshua? Like Joshua who? What Joshua we're talking about?
Like, that's clever, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, there's a guy with a channel who is Matt Johnson, and he's huge now. I remember watched him at 10,000 subscribers going, this guy he's fun. He's fascinating. And now he's, I don't know, like 300. I don't even know what the number is, but it's huge. About that. I thought with a name like that, how is he ever going to grow? Who is Matt Johnson?
Yeah. Well, and yet grew. Yeah. Yeah, and it really doesn't matter, what you would name the channel, so to speak. A lot of them use personality-driven, which I've already got Joshua Verwer's here. This is the channel. So I needed to do something else. I wanted it to kind of be tied together so at least people that were on both kind of knew. And I was thinking something kind of cutesy, but also where you hear it and then it kind of makes sense. And I thought, plus,
I like it.
I wanted to talk about myself in the third person, and I figured I could just start every video and be like, "Hey, welcome back to the show."
You like attention. What?
Yeah. Today, we're talking about what Joshua uses to make his voice sound so silky smooth.
I would watch it. I would watch it.
So that's kind of the thoughts. Diana laughing out loud, and Genevieve saying, "You see what I live with."
I see this, Genevieve.
It is what you live
Dude,
with.
when you came home, and this is another Instagram plug. If you're not following Joshua on Instagram, go do it. So he comes home, and there's like a pile of boxes on his table or something, and he calls Genevieve in, and she comes in to look, and your face, Genevieve, when you round the corner, both Jesse and I were like,
Joshua, yes.
She's not happy. Maybe you were, but it was just like,
no,
oh.
She
wasn't.
Looked
immediately. My wife looks at me and she goes, "Don't you dare."
She wasn't, because it was 14 Funko Pop figurines that I bought. But to defend myself, that is what happens when I have to take the dog to the groomer and they tell me it's going to be a 4-hour wait and I'm in Des Moines. I mean, I got to do something to occupy my time.
Oh my goodness.
That was a really expensive dog grooming appointment, by the way. Really expensive. No, she actually wasn't that mad with it, especially when I pulled 2 of my Funko Pops off and she saw that I bought her one of the 14 was
See,
hers.
there you go. You were thinking about her.
And there was a box of her favorite cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
I sweetened her up a little bit. And then she saw that and she's like, okay, that's a little bit better, but still.
So admittedly, there was potential for frustration there, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the cookies?
Yes, because like she says, I only knew of 2 of them. Yes, I only showed her Miami Vice. So right there. There's wait, where is it? Miami Vice is right there. Those are the only 2 that she knew of. And the photo that I sent her, they were at Target and they were on clearance for like $2.98. So she thought I was only spending like $6 on Funko Pops, not
there
much
you
more.
Go. Anyway, follow him on Instagram. So next week, whenever he brings
actually, I don't know how many other boxes are in the mail. I might need an intervention.
Oh my. Dude, this is great. Just make sure you get it on video.
Like today. I mean, here we are. We're starting the live stream and she comments in and she's like, "You got another box." And it was like, I guess we're going to do a live unboxing.
There's going to be like tears. There's going to be an army of Funko Pops behind you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, anyways, the vlog that is coming out tomorrow, you guys are going to get to see that stack of boxes that I had, everything that came in, what was inside them, as well as all of my Funko Pops. You're getting a tour of the studio. You're going to get a tour of everything in its place and how it looks and what it looks like. And yeah, it should be fun.
Can't wait, man. That's tomorrow?
That's coming out tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time yet. I still need to do some more editing on it today. But it'll be out tomorrow sometime. So cool. Back to doing 2-3 vlogs a week, depending.
Yeah, some of you guys are ramping it up, like Clint and Chase. Y'all took this really seriously, maximized on your video count there.
Last week I didn't. Last week was kind of a rough week, but last week I was out and about and doing so much running. And you know, we not only have this project here for this studio remodel, this was pretty easy because it was already a bedroom. It was pretty much in place. However, our old bedroom that we had, I moved all 3 of our girls in there. Plenty of room, just not plenty of closet space. And so we knocked out the fireplace that was in there and put a huge walk-in closet. And so that's been a big undertaking. And by we, it's not me, because I do any form of manual labor and I hurt myself every single time. And then my mom yells at me because that's a negative confession. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Keep the tools away from me. I'm surprised I didn't cut myself with the knife when I was unboxing. It's about the only thing I can safely use. But it's been a huge project. So I've been doing lots of running. I've been the gopher going and getting the stuff, and it's been fun.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. Which, by the way, she says I'm mudding the second coat now. See, she's doing the work. I'm not doing the work. She's listening to us, and and do it. Mom says, should we talk about your closet? No, we should not talk about my closet. No, I save the boxes. So when I buy stuff, if it's a $400 microphone,
just in case you want to sell it or return it.
If I want to sell it or return it, I'm going to save the box.
That's a lot of boxes, though.
Yes. So, I might have a problem in my closet.
Or you just put them whole in the closet. Just
they have been whole up to this point, but I need to start breaking them down.
Dude, all right.
So I don't have all of it.
No, but, I understand. That.
However,
we have a storage shed and do the same thing. Well, I put a big box. It's a big box, and all of the little the camera stuff, the microphone stuff, the expensive stuff that just in case one day I want to send it back and it's original packaging to somebody, charge a little bit more for it.
And I'm glad I did that because I've got this Rode Procaster now, getting rid of my Zoom F4 field recorder, and I still have all of the boxing. So it's all packed away. And now that I've got a second Shure SM7B, I had an old Shure PG42 USB microphone, and I have the case and everything for that. So, because it had a hard case as well as the box. So I've got all of that stuff. Those are both going to get thrown on eBay in the next couple days. And but I've got all that stuff. So then it makes it easier to sell it, original packaging, everything. And as somebody who buys a lot of stuff off of eBay or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, I appreciate when it's still got the original packaging. It kind of tells me that they took care of it, So even though some of the stuff like my Procaster showed up in, I don't know, what was it? Like a air mattress box.
Somebody needs to keep a running tally of this. This is awesome.
Genevieve has kept a running tally, and she was upset when she realized we could have paid off our house by now.
Confession time. So, like a month.
Yeah. Hey, anything else that we want to talk about this week on the podcast?
I think we're good. I think maybe next week we should dive into some Vlogpaster stuff because we're getting ready to wrap up that.
I think we should.
That whole season, and maybe we might have the guys on in a couple weeks, 2 weeks.
I'm hoping so. As we wrap it up, I haven't really let them know. We're still trying to figure out exactly how to do it. I've got to figure out the functionality because we've got one extra person than what Skype will allow. So it might look a little bit different. We may have to pipe it through Zoom. But yeah, we'll be able to get this figured out.
Well, I would bet not everybody's able to make it. Surely somebody's doing something else. Otherwise, I might take one for the team or whatever.
If everybody can be there, it'll be Zoom. If not everybody can be there, it's probably going to be Skype. And then I can do all these fancy little overlays because, well, I'm fancy. All right. Man. I think that's it for us. Glad you guys could join us. Glad you guys could stick around. Really appreciate you all taking time out of your day just to hang out, just to visit with us. If you want to catch up on this podcast after the fact, it's always uploaded here on YouTube. We go live about 10:30, 11 o'clock on Thursdays. And then the podcast is uploaded to really all the podcast platforms Friday morning, and you can just listen to the audio there. So that's what we got. Don't forget to check us out. You can check Jared out at Bite of Brownie Productions on Instagram. You can check me out at Joshua Verwers on Instagram. Until next week, stay blessed and enjoy God's best.